Gr- greetings, 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 greetings. Back with another video. In this video, I'm talking about why isn't the manifestation coming in activation. You know, there's reasons why the manifestation isn't coming into activation. Is because of the fact is you got to think about like the people you could be hanging around with. Like you could be hanging around with the wrong people, that naysayers and doubters, people's doubting you about what you're trying to manifest or what you're trying to do in your life. Like if you talk about around certain people, if you talk about like certain things that you're really interested in, but those people that you hanging around with could be like not into what you're into. Like they want to, some people like want to be around you because they probably don't want to see you evolve and change. There's people like that where you could be trying to improve your life, improve your reality, and there's probably people that's trying to stop you from moving forward. Like when I was a teenager, you know, like I used to drink and go out and party a lot, and all my friends was party people. And once I stopped like hanging out with those type of people, like my whole world changed. Like I stopped hanging around people like that. You know, like those people like are no longer in my life. You know, you got to learn to manifest things that you want, because you know life is full of dreams and broken promises if you don't manifest the correct way. So those are blockages. That's what I call them, like blockages. You know, there's people that come in your life and they just don't want to see you grow because they're full of doubt or they're full of failure. I mean, it is what it is. You know, you got to try to learn to be around people that's willing to balance your reality out, because if you don't balance your reality out, you're always going to have this chaotic energy of people trying to stop you from moving forward. You know, I mean, you might be cool with them, they might be your best friend, but sometimes you gotta learn to remove people out of your life, even if they're like family members, even if they're like relatives. Like, you know, I got some hating ass family members, and you know, I got an uncle that he's a real hater, and you know, I don't associate with that side of the family. So I'm just saying, like, you just gotta learn to just get those people out of your life. You gotta learn to just, you know, just stop kicking it with people like that, because those type of people will always keep you held back if you're trying to manifest. You know, because they could be throwing an evil eye at you or praying on your downfall. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why your manifestations could be blocked. You know, there's other reasons why too. You know, maybe you're not doing it correctly. You know, there's ways of doing it. You know, if you're really trying to manifest something, it's better to try to be around people that's on the same frequency as you, is trying to move forward in life. Like if you say, like, for example, like if you don't have a job and you're hanging around people that don't work and they don't make any money, and you're inspired to look for a job and to move forward, I mean, it's gonna be harder to look for a job than be around people that, you know, that's making money. Your chances of hanging around people that's making money than hanging around people that's not making money, you'll have better chances of making money. You know, because there's some people that out here that's failures. You know, I even got some of my family. It's crazy. You can't allow yourself to be held back. If you got something that you really want to shift in your reality or shift in your life, it's better to learn to cut people out. That's the best way I could tell you, is to what you want to do and how you want to move forward, because the art of manifestation is real. I mean, you can create what you want in your reality. You can have what you want in your life. It's no end to it. What you pray for, or what you ask for, or what you wish for to come in your life can come to you, but you just gotta know what you gotta remove and what you gotta allow in your reality, because it's not gonna fall in your lap. You gotta work for it. Like, if you truly want something to come to you, you really gotta show that you really want that, and how far are you willing to get. Like, if you got like a talent or something like that, like, you gotta exercise that talent. You can't sit there and be on your high horse and think that talent is always gonna be around. Like, look at this singer like Billie Holiday, like a jazz singer. Billie Holiday, in her younger days, she had a really beautiful voice. She was a good singer, but I don't know if it was the cigarettes, I don't know if it was the dark liquor, but her voice was horrible when she was older. It was different. Like, the older Billie Holiday vocals is like horrible. I don't know if her throat, like, I don't know if her singing, I don't know, it just went bad, but it's horrible. Smoking too many cigarettes or drinking too much alcohol, sometimes you gotta learn to cut that out too, because those things can stop you from moving forward too. So learn to save and just do things that can help you create your reality, because learning to keep everybody in your circle is not always good. I used to think that just because I knew that person for a long time, or I grew up with that person, I have to keep that person in my life. No, you don't. I mean, you can love them, but love them for a distance, because some people are just made to be in your life, just like temporarily, family wise, or just some friends that you grew up with. It's nothing wrong with hanging out with them, but if they're not trying to elevate themselves, what's the point on being around it? Because it's just gonna hold you back. And we're talking about elevating, manifesting our realities into better realities. That's what I'm making this video for, because I'm just trying to get you to understand that you learning to remove people, or you learning to allow certain people into your life that's willing to help you elevate yourself will make your manifestations a lot easier. And it's nothing wrong with getting rid of people out of your life that's gonna hold you back. You probably got a lazy family member or a lazy friend that you grew up with that's thinking that they're gonna lay back and just expect you to do all the work for them. Or if you hit the lottery or you do something big, you're expecting to help them out too. Nah, I mean, they gotta help. I mean, if they really want to be a part of your dream and your reality, they gotta be a part. They gotta help build it. Build the foundation with you. Don't sit there and expect to watch you do all these magical things, and they expect them to come into your life when they start seeing everything starting to blossom. It's not being selfish, it's just being realistic. Like, is seeing the bigger picture, because there's people out there that's gonna want to be a part of your reality. Like if you're doing creative things, and you know, you starting at the bottom is not always gonna show. But once it's starting to nurture and people are starting to want to be a part of the vision, when they start seeing the vision start to come to life, you know, people are going to want to be a part of it, you know. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying just learn to cut people off and allow people that want to be a part of the creation to be around it. That's it.